there were no movies coming out. There were no TV shows. For fans, it was mostly action figures like Yak Man. Hi guys, Geezer64 here, and today is May the 4th, so may the Force be with you, or may the 4th be whatever you want to say it. May the 4th be with you. So for this, I wanted to do something Star Wars related for the day, obviously, and I wanted to do something fun and positive as well. So I designed a fan poster casting Zachary Levi as Dash Rendar. Before delving into the poster, I want to talk a bit about Shadows of the Empire, the character of Dash Rendar, and why I cast Zachary Levi. So with all that being said, let's just go ahead and jump back to 1990s.
Nintendo 64 is here. Get into it.
For those of you who didn't grow up in the 90s as a Star Wars fan, it's kind of hard to explain the hype surrounding Shadows of the Empire. There was very little new content for fans in the 90s. Phantom Menace wasn't released until summer of 99, so there were no movies coming out. There were no TV shows. For fans, it was mostly action figures like Yak Man, and cool books like Heir to the Empire and Young Jedi Knights, keeping the franchise alive. These were the things that kept Star Wars fans invested in the franchise. The books is what I turned to for more Star Wars back in those days. Then I heard that there was a book coming out that was taking place between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, which was a period I've always wanted to know more about. Personally, Luke Skywalker was my hero, and I wanted to know how he became a Jedi between those two films.
After The Empire Strikes Back and before Return of the Jedi, there was a time when heroes and villains alike lived in the shadows of the Empire.
But then a comic book series was announced. New action figures were announced. There were trading cards. And most importantly of all, the video game was announced. For, in my opinion, the greatest console of all time, the Nintendo 64. Shadows of the Empire was an amazing game. I still play it every now and again to this day. While the controllers are super wonky, not very fluid, I still have a lot of fun playing that. And in the game you play as Dash Rendar, a badass ginger with huge shoulder pads and a mercenary attitude. Even then, I understood that Dash Rendar was a stand-in for Han Solo, being that Han Solo was captured by Boba Fett during this time period. But not playing as Han Solo never bothered me at all. Dash was still a badass with a gun. He had a robot sidekick named Lebo instead of a Wookiee named Chewie. His ship was called the Outrider instead of the Falcon, and Dash was a mercenary, not a smuggler. Before Shadows of the Empire, my favorite Star Wars game by far had to be Super Return of the Jedi. I just really loved that game. Luke had tons of force powers you could use. There was like freeze and all kinds of stuff. You could play as Han or Chewie. You could play as Leia, both Slave Leia and Bouche Costume, which basically played like two completely different characters. And you even got to play as Wicket. Now, I don't really care what anyone says. I actually like the Ewoks. There's something special about those little man-eating meth bears. Of course, there were actually two Star Wars 3D games that came out like within a month of each other. There was, of course, Shadows of the Empire, and then there was Masters of Terras Kasai, which was a 3D fighting game, which sounds great in theory, but, I mean, look at this.
Look out. You win.
Nice try.
Riveting, isn't it? Well, back to Shadows of the Empire. So, in the game, you open up with arguably the best level. Well, you get to play through Hoth, taking down ATSTs, AT-ATs, going through Echo Base, fighting Wampas and Snow Troopers. Later, you get to fight IG-88 on a garbage planet and get a jetpack to fight Boba Fett. I have very fond memories of this game, as it was essentially a launch title for the system. This and Super Mario 64 were my first and only games for a long time, so I played both those games a lot. While Dash Rendar wasn't featured all that much in either the book or the comic, I had a good connection with that character playing through the game over and over again, and I would have loved to see more of him. Now, at the end of the game, it is implied that he died attacking Prince Shizor's Skyhook. And because of that, we never really got much more of the character outside of the Shadows of the Empire label. While he is actually shown to have survived if you complete the game on hard.
Captain, I do not understand. Why do you not want Commander Skywalker and the others to know that we survived and made the jump to hyperspace?
Well, as much fun as that was, I don't see us joining the ranks of that crazy rebellion.
It is obvious that the creators really wanted him to meet his end, to explain him missing from Return of the Jedi. But I thought the character had potential to build on, and we never really got that. So I've been toying with the idea of doing my own fan casting for Star Wars movies I'd like to see. I already did one video already on my take of what an Heir to the Empire style movie, and I'll throw that link at the end of this video, but I wanted to also give some love to Shadows of the Empire. So I've started some character posters for that, and Dash Rendar is, of course, the first poster. And while determining my casting choice, I thought of a few people and even asked my friends for suggestions. Someone even suggested John Cena.
Jabba will pay extra to the one who blasts his bones. Let's fry him.
John Cena! He's gonna get in the ring!
Honestly, I've always thought Brad Pitt would be a great choice, and, well, I don't know if he's too old. Yeah, I would probably say he's too old. I'd say he's on the edge of being too old at this point. So I felt like Dash needed to be a bit younger if a movie was coming out now. Plus, I wanted someone bigger and taller than I saw Zachary Levi mention wanting to play Dash Rendar in an article somewhere, and I was like, yeah, that's not a bad casting choice at all. That's actually pretty good. I've been a fan of his since his first show, Chuck. I love that series. Full disclosure, I have met Zachary Levi in person, and he is honestly one of the coolest people I've ever met at a convention. Just a really fun guy with a lot of energy. He took some actual time to talk to me. We talked about our time working at Blockbuster. So needless to say, I'm a fan of Zachary Levi, and I thought that he could handle this role of Dash Rendar. Just give him a chance to play someone a little bit more serious, but bring the same charisma that he did to Shazam and Chuck. And the dude is just a real fan of Star Wars, so that always helps. And on that note, my poster is revealed. So I'll just walk through a few things here. Obviously, I went with a different look for Dash than what most people would know. And honestly, I wanted to change it. I'm not too interested in doing a complete recreation of an existing costume most of the time. I really kind of want to do my own thing when I'm making these. Now, I did keep the shoulder pads because they're synonymous with the character. It's one of the first things I think about other than red hair when I think about Dash Rendar. Unfortunately, you can't really see the purpose for the shoulder pads from the front. My idea was that the shoulder pads ran down his back and provided support for his jetpack so he could fly easier. That was my idea anyway. Which he did use a jetpack in the game to track down and confront Boba Fett, as I mentioned earlier, as well as fight a giant alien squid. Maybe one day I'll do another Dash poster and showcase the actual jetpack. And of course, I have an ammo belt called a bandolier. If anyone is interested in learning something today, that's what it's called, a bandolier. And then I added some armor pads on his sleeves. Admittedly, I just kind of thought they looked cool. I wanted to do something other than just a jacket. I wanted to give him a little bit more armor look without really changing what I was going for. I like to think that maybe Dash got them like from a Mandalorian or something. That's my idea, I guess. And this is the picture of Zachary Levi that I used. Now, I messed around with different colors of red for his beard, but decided to just go full ginger with it. And I decided to change his hairstyle as well. Now, as I said earlier, I always thought Brad Pitt would make a good Dash Rendar, so I used his hair to complete the more ragged look that I was kind of going for with this version of Dash Rendar. As far as the background, I wanted to try something I hadn't before. I wanted to do something like an old Wanted poster, but I wanted Dash's ship, the Outrider, in the back there on the poster. So I thought it'd be cool to have a fire burning the outline behind the poster, burning through the poster. And the colors really complemented the design that I had for Dash, so that worked out really well. And that is some of the background on the poster, what I did, and the ideas behind it. Now, I am currently working on a Leia as well as a Prince Shizor poster to add to this one. So here is my work in progress on Shizor right now. And what I did is I went with Mark Strong as the casting choice because why not? He was one of the only good things about that Green Lantern movie. He played Sinestro. So if you like this video, please let me know and I'll continue with these posters and videos. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I want to thank you all for watching. Thank you subscribers for being awesome. May the 4th be with you. And if you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, share, do all the YouTube stuff or don't. I'm not a beggar. I'm Geek364 and I'll always tell you the truth.